All right, what do we got here? Trump at a fort. I guess this is going to be what, day five? Day five of the LA protests, where, well, let's be honest here, I think it's mostly just calmed down. Not a crazy amount of shit's gone on. I mean, I guess in terms of news, there's still protests going on and fucking black baggings of, I don't know, random brown people as always. It's very calm now. Thank you, Boy Meets Minnie. Yeah, it's mostly calmed down, but of course, like schizophrenic Trump has to not make it calm because again, what's the only reason why he deployed the National Guard and he's trying to deploy the fucking Marines who are apparently there, but they're still on standby. They're not actually in Los Angeles. Do we even know if the Marines are even in Los Angeles? I think they are. I don't know. Who the fuck knows, to be honest? It's all just like fascist bullshit, authoritarianism nonsense, petri dish of what exactly the Trump administration wants to do. I guess mostly the thing I want to focus on here is just like, I don't know, an update and mostly talk about the media's failings. Because the media, let's be honest here, I've been commenting on this, but they've been pretty much complicit with what the administration, broadly speaking, is going on, is trying to go along with here. Because for them, it's all about press access. They care more about their fucking bottom lines in general when it comes to, hey, well, doing what they want in terms of not doing what they want, doing their coverage, right? So what? Let's start with what Trump is saying at this fucking military base, right? Fort Bragg, which was called Fort Liberty under Joe Biden, and then it got changed back to Fort Bragg. But it wasn't the Fort Bragg who was a part of the Confederacy. Oh, it was actually some random fucking paratrooper because, ooh, I'm Pete Hegseth and I think I'm really cheeky. It's like, dude, like, come on, bro. We know what you're doing. But we will liberate Los Angeles and make it free, clean, and safe again. It's happening very quickly. May I remind you, of course, that, hey, you want to know exactly what fucking happened? Oh, the raids started in the sanctuary city of Los Angeles, which is legal, and that's why the protests began. But whatever.
And disorder. And you know what? They have it in Europe too. It's happening in many of the countries of Europe. They don't like it when I say it, but I'll say it loudly and clearly. They better do something before it's too late.
What are you talking about? What? I'm very confused. What? Why is he bringing up Europe? I know that this is like spread to a bunch of other cities, right? It seems like this is not going to catalyze in these sort of like George Floyd-esque protests that I was hoping it was going to catalyze into, because I guess the American people have, broadly speaking, even like fucking liberals, are too fucking Hitlerite. Too many Hitler particles. And again, you want to know who I blame for that? The Democrats. The Democrats did not put in enough of a sort of counter effort to talk about, immigration. And the fact that basically, the Democrats basically went along completely with the conservative framing during Joe Biden's administration on immigration. So unfortunately, what I was hoping would happen was this would catalyze into a broader sort of movement nationwide within the United States. But that's not fucking happening. Again, fucking Democrats failing to seize on an opportunity or a moment. At least with Gavin Newsom, he's seizing on the opportunity and the fucking moment. Honestly, the fact that I have to compliment fucking Gavin Newsom should be pretty fucking telling of just how pathetic the overall Democratic Party has been treating this fucking situation. Have we really heard anything from them? No, not really. Hakeem Jeffries is probably staring into some lights like a fucking deer, frozen out of fear, and Chuck Schumer is probably like soying out about anti-Semitism or some shit, or he's gonna have dinner with the Baileys. He's talking with the Baileys or some shit. So the Republican Party is pretty much just completely allowed to run roughshod in terms of framing, in terms of talking about this particular movement. And nothing's really going to come out of it. Lovely, fantastic. They're really, really good.
Dysfunction and disorder. And you know what? They have it in Europe too. It's happening in many of the countries of Europe. They don't like it when I say it, but I'll say it loudly and clearly. They better do something before it's too late.
What the fuck are you gonna do about, like, what? Like, what are you gonna do about the demonstrations that are going on in Europe? You barely have control of anything that's going on in your fucking country, you fucking dumbass. And again, like I said before, the only reason why you're doing this is to have it as a fucking distraction for the big beautiful bill, which is completely fucking dog shit. Because again, what are people not doing? Talking about how dog shit the fucking big beautiful bill. This has been a complete utter success here for the Republican Party, because again, media fucking sucks in America, and they are complicit in what is going on with, the bullshit the Republican Party is doing. What was the media constantly talking about? The spat between Elon Musk and the big beautiful bill constantly, because Elon Musk was constantly bringing up the big beautiful bill. What they were doing, constantly talking about the big beautiful bill. Trump doesn't really want people to constantly talk about how shitty the big beautiful bill is, so guess what? He pulls this fucking dumbass stunt in LA, because again, let's be honest here. LA is a sanctuary city. ICE is not allowed to detain, or is not allowed to do like civil fucking immigration enforcement within LA because of the fact that it is a sanctuary city. That all gets handled by the local jurisdiction there, nothing federal. So that's why they're not allowed to do that, which is why the Angelinos got fucking pissed about this to begin with, okay? Right? There was huge protests about that, and guess what fucking happened? The broader national media and the media in general are going to start talking about this and covering it, and sawing the fuck out over the fact that 5 fucking Waymo vehicles got burnt because the citizens of Los Angeles decided to do a little bit of cheeky trolling, and that was calling the fucking Waymos so they have the express purpose of burning them. That's funny, okay? Fuck those things. I hate the Waymos, okay? I don't give a shit about, like, optical fucking bullshit there, okay? I'll take the fucking optics hit. I don't give a shit. Fuck those things. Those things should eat shit, alright? Fuck them. I don't give a shit. And guess what? This has been great for the Republican Party now. No one's talking about how shit the big beautiful bill is, and they've been all hyper-focused on the supposed riots of Los Angeles, which aren't riots. They have been overwhelmingly peaceful. And, now we're starting to see, like, dipshit counter-protesters also starting to go in there and be fucking dumb and annoying. Except they're just being dumb. Not really annoying, just very dumb, mostly. So, media being complicit in the actions of the fucking Trump administration because they're more concerned about having access to the president, because they're worried that he might throw a little bit of a fucking hissy fit and try to sue them to take away their fucking licenses, which is illegal, by the way. He can't do that under the Constitution. Like, he just can't do that. Like, it's just not going to work. So, that's cool. Lovely.
Very simply, we will liberate Los Angeles and make it free, clean, and safe again. It's happening very quickly.
Yeah, what does he mean by that? I don't know. It's already free. It was already clean. It was already safe. What happened? You happened. You were the one that made it not safe, not clean, and not safe, and not free. You did that by randomly sending in ICE into a sanctuary city with a mayor who was not complicit, like Eric. Because again, I've made this comparison before, but quite literally, let's be fucking honest here. Karen Bass is not like Eric Adams, who is looking for a pardon from the Trump administration and is not just letting in the fucking Gestapo, okay? Let's be fucking honest here. LA is better than Texas. Texas is full of violent crime. That's fucking hilarious. What? How much crime is there in fucking, in Austin? How much crime? No, how much? Let's say, crime committed in American cities. Why don't we get these statistics? Fuck it. By crime rate, by the FBI, no population. Well, here's Alabama in first. Cool. And then Alaska in second. And then Arizona. And then you get the first city in California, that being Anaheim. Here's Los Angeles in 17th. That's cool. That's epic. Where is Texas? I'm curious. That's not how you spell Texas. Texas. Of course, this is just crime in general, right? So how about violent crime? Highest murder rates. New Orleans in Louisiana. That's a Republican state. St. Louis. That's Missouri. That's a Republican state. Here's Maryland, which would be a Democratic state. So, Tennessee, Republican. Pennsylvania, which went Republican, but it's a swing state. Alabama, which is Republican. Missouri, Republican. Then there's D.C. There's the first, one of the first solid Democrats. Milwaukee County, that's Wisconsin. So, Democrat. Norfolk, that would be Virginia. That's Republican. So, what, in the fucking top 10, I guess, in terms of murder rates, guess who are mostly in the top 10? Republican states. Wah, 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 wah. I don't know, how about the top 15? We got Indiana, of course, Republican. Richmond, which is also Virginia, which is Republican. And yeah, LA's not even on this list. Georgia, which went Republican. Or is this West Virginia? Is Richmond in Virginia or West Virginia? I always confuse the two. Because Virginia, I believe, is Democrat. Okay, so that would be a Democrat state. Okay, cool. West Virginia has Charleston. That's it. So what? Republican state, Republican state, Republican state. Well, I mean, this is a swing state. Democrat. Although Michigan also went Republican this election, so I swing state, technically speaking, even though it shouldn't have been a swing state, but Democrats are useless. Democrat state, Republican state, swing state, Democrat, Republican, 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 swing, Democrat, Republican, Republican. I don't know, based off of these statistics, if we're talking about violent crime and what's worse, and in terms of not peaceful cities, which guess what? Los Angeles doesn't even appear here. Turns out, Democrat states are, broadly speaking, better places to live in terms of mitigation of violent crime. Who would have thought that Donald Trump was full of shit and that Republican states are generally worse? So that's funny. What do we got here? Goading the fans into calling Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass the only. Okay, honestly, we gotta make fun of Trump's nickname. For Karen Bass, he just calls her mayor in air quotations, and it's very weird. And attacks him as incompetent. Sure, man, because you're very, very competent right now.
Wearing a uniform because you don't know exactly who they are. In Los Angeles, the governor of California, the mayor of Los Angeles.
So I'm going to say this right here. I'm going to say this right now. The fact that Donald Trump is basically getting people who are ostensibly a part of the military to have, I don't know, as sort of like partisan political stances, such as just booing people like Democrats that are currently in fucking office, does not bode very well. I'll be quite honest, because the military is supposed to be an apolitical institution. Yes, Boy Meets Mini. This is at a military base. This is just a political rally at a military base. Yeah, they're not supposed to happen. But do you think that these motherfuckers in the Republican Party give a fuck about any of that stuff? No. I thought this was some ceremony. It turned into it was a political rally. It's a political rally. Even if it was a ceremony, let's be honest here, Boy Meets Mini, he would have turned it into a political rally. Guaranteed. Trump does this all the fucking time. But, guys, the military is supposed to be apolitical. And obviously, is the media going to fucking talk about this? No. No, they're not. They're not really going to give much of a shit about this. You're not going to hear all the hand-wringing about, like, hey, holding political rallies at a military base, an institution that is supposed to be, not under the direct control of the executive, even though Republicans will argue that it should be, which is really fucking stupid. Quite literally, it's just like, well, we're just going to advocate for military dictatorship while our guy's in fucking office. So that's cool. Fantastic. Excellent. And it should be fairly obvious why it's bad for this to be the case. Because, again, if, a particular Republican gets into power, into office, they can just, order the military to just shut down the Constitution and just have all power for himself. So, we love the continued backsliding of the United States of America. And are the Democrats and the media really going to probably report on this and try to hand-wring, be like, hey, this is kind of bad, guys. This might be a problem. No, because, again, they're all fucking complicit.
They're incompetent, and they paid troublemakers, agitators, and insurrectionists. They're engaged in this willful attempt.
So he's saying that it was the mayor and Gavin Newsom who paid people to be okay. This is actually fucking insane. Let's keep it a $1.50, okay? No, why Karen Bass, quite literally, I think in her most recent interview, was talking about, okay, honestly, we need to stop all the fucking bullshit, okay? And, protesters are being bad, and how she was praising the LAPD for the good job that they were fucking doing, even though, she had an interview where she seemingly, learned her lesson, and now she's, not. She's gone back to basically being fucking complicit with the Trump administration's bullshit. The only one who, again, as I've said, who's been consistent in any of this has been fucking Gavin Newsom. It's bad when Gavin Newsom is the only one who's been ever consistent on fucking anything. Things are looking rather bleak.
Attempt to nullify federal law and aid the occupation of the city by criminal invaders. That's what it is.
It's not what it is. Again, it's lies. He's just lying. But are the media going to call out on any of this fucking bullshit? No. What do you mean? Again, criminal invaders? Who were the criminal invaders? The protesters exercising their First Amendment rights? They're criminal invaders? Okay. You're the one who inflamed tensions and made everything worse by letting the raids go through with Tom Homan, your favorite cancer fucking patient, and Kristi Noem, that stupid LARPy puppy-killing cowboy, fucking deciding to deploy ICE into Los Angeles in a sanctuary city, which, guess what, is illegal. You can't fucking do that. So, yeah, totally. But are the Democrats going to push back on this and say anything about it? Not really. It's going to be ineffective and pathetic, so he can just get away with saying all this stupid bullshit. But let's see. Attacks Gavin Newsom. It's purely just a partisan political rally at a military base. Cool.
So, because you work together as a team, and we're including in that and across the board. Now, you don't have to take this if you don't want. You could be great patriots.
Wait, work as a fucking team? What does he mean by that? Strange.
Say, I don't want to raise. I will not accept it. Let it go back into our country. Let's give it to Gavin Newsom so he can waste it in Los Angeles. No, we don't want to do that, but we're giving you across the board raise for every single service member in the U.S. Armed Forces. We're giving you across the board, and you deserve it.
How are you going to pay for that? How are you going to pay for that, Trump? What are you going to do? Big beautiful bill doesn't have a across the board raise for service people. What the fuck? What are you talking about? What's going on here? That's a little weird. But we were just using this as an excuse to attack fucking Gavin Newsom, even though he didn't really do anything. All he said was just yeah, you're not allowed to do what you do. What you're doing is quite fucking legal. But whatever, stupid bullshit. And here's probably the worst part. Again, Media being fucking complicit. Are they going to cover any of this? Nope. But he's goading the fucking troops at Fort Bragg into booing the fake news covering the event. This does not bode well.
And for a little news for the fake news back there, the fake news. Ladies and gentlemen, look at them. Look at them all. Oh, yeah, what I have to put up with. Fake news. Fake news. What I have.
Like I said before, should the military be as partisan and political as this? No. They are meant to be an apolitical institution. The only thing they swear an allegiance to is to the Constitution. That is who they swear an allegiance to. Not to this bloviating orange fucking dumbass. But that's cool. Fantastic. Excellent.
To put up with, but they're all right. They've been very nice today. They were impressed with that display, I can tell you that. I think it took them a little by surprise, but... And for a little news for the fake news back there, the fake news.
You know, I love how he just, like, blatantly sort of admits to saying, like, you know, they were pretty surprised about that, you know. So totally hyper omega surprised. Really, really were the fake news media. I'm curious. Because I'm pretty sure there was, like, a thing out there. I think it was like a fucking Facebook post. So, again, take that with what you will. Grain of salt and everything. But saying that... Yeah, the people that they wanted at the back for Trump were people who did not have any, like, fucking political affiliations or, like, you know, people who were not particularly partisan, but partisan for the fucking president, which is fucking hilarious. Let me see if I can find that. I really want to fucking find this. It was a fucking Facebook page. I found the fucking page. Did they get rid of that fucking post? No, they didn't. So, I mean, if this is true, everyone must be sleeping in the bleachers, 12:15. Again, this would be a direct order, so, you know. Notes. Soldiers sitting in the bleachers are to be fit and not look fat. I don't know. There were some, like, pretty fat people or something. But something tells me that this is something that for the fucking what... that this is probably that something... I have a feeling just from this alone, this might have actually fucking happened. No colored patches. If any soldiers have political views that are in opposition to the current administration... and they don't want to be in the audience, then they need to speak with their leadership and get swapped out. Basically, they don't want soldiers in the audience rolling their eyes or shaking their head in disagreement. That's a little suspicious. Should answer the question of this just being a wholeheartedly just partisan political fucking rally at a military base. Very, very cool and very good. But, you know, is that going to be fucking covered at all? I mean, there's no corroborating evidence to suggest that there's any, you know, anything to go along with this. But, you know, whatever. Fucking complete fucking nonsense. Very cool and very good. This is the sort of, like, position that we find ourselves in, having complete partisan political rallies at a military base. At an institution which is supposed to be completely apolitical. Is this going to be covered? No, probably not. But here's the big thing, okay? And I believe this really pissed off Australia. U.S. correspondent Lauren Tomasi has been caught in the crossfire as the LAPD fired rubber bullets at protesters in the heart of Los Angeles. Very cool and very good. We've seen the fucking video, right?
After hours of standing off, this situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters,
trying to kill
moving
people,
them on
of course.
through the heart of LA.
I want you to take a look at this guy. Look at him. Look at this guy. Dude is clearly, very clearly taking aim. And again, she is in the press area. Quite literally, standing amongst the press. It is fairly obvious that they are standing away on the other side, but we want to report this as getting caught in the crossfire. This is not getting caught in the crossfire. This is her being purposefully fucking aimed at by the LAPD. So, that's really cool. I love the media and this is her own fucking outfit. Reporting it like this. I guess they don't give a shit at all about their own fucking reporter. Crazy. Just shot her.
Okay.
Caught on fucking camera. Caught. I'm ready for Asmongold to sort of like report on this, saying like, oh, you know, she took it pretty well, you know, seemingly saying that she's good. You know, for the hypothetical Asmongold viewer out there, the problem is not her taking the shot well or whatever. It's the fact that she got shot at all. The fucking dude clearly meant to aim the fucking gun at her. Of course, it's a rubber bullet. It's non-lethal. Sure, non-lethal. Whatever. They can still fucking kill you. But I think the more important thing that's worthwhile to focus on is the fact that she got fucking shot pretty clearly and evidently by the fucking goddamn LAPD. But, you know, is this going to be accurately talked about and reported? No, probably not. Well, here's their channel, 9 News Australia. Australian reporter reflects on being shot with rubber bullet during LA protest. Well, what do you got here?
Folding in LA is sending shockwaves across the globe. Our very own US correspondent Lauren Tomasi was caught up in the mayhem, shot with a rubber bullet. Take a look.
After hours of standing off,
we've
this
seen this.
situation has now rapidly deteriorated.
See it again, fuck it.
The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters.
God, even this fucking guy is more likely to get caught in the fucking crossfire, who's like just filming the LAPD, and this fucking jabroni just like, I don't know, intrusive thoughts won, and he just wanted to shoot a reporter like, I can get away with this, I'm gonna shoot the reporter.
Moving them on through the heart of LA.
Like, actually insane. He was looking forward and then turned back and just shot her. Fucking insane. But she got caught in the crossfire, guys. Yeah, sure, bro.
You okay?
Yeah, hey, media. By the way, you want to talk about violence? There's your fucking violence, you fucking simpletons. Great. Fantastic.
Doesn't matter how many times you watch it, right? Lauren joins us live now from LA. Lauren, I mean, I think we were all so shocked and so deeply troubled by what happened.
Now, here's the
to
thing.
you yesterday.
This isn't a US outlet, okay? This is an Australian outlet. So I'm actually expecting more. Because broadly speaking, most European outlets do quite a good job at holding some semblance of account to their politicians. For example, like British outlets are much, much better at holding people in power to account for their actions. Say whatever you will about, like, I don't know, British media outlets. A lot of them are also fucking dog shit for their other fucking reasons. Obviously. But in terms of holding people to account, people in power, much, much, much better in comparison. So what do we got here? So far, caught in the crossfire, it's not looking good for the media here.
Hey, how are you feeling this morning?
Morning, Sarah and Carlos. I'm good, thank you. I have a bit of a bloody big old bruise and it's a little bit sore, but I am all okay, thank you.
Hey, can you talk us through just, you know, it was...
And if I recall correctly, I believe this outlet is owned by some... I don't know if it's Rupert Murdoch, but I think it's some associate of fucking Rupert Murdoch. Let's see this. Who owns 9 News Australia? Who owns it? I'm curious. Parent company 9 Entertainment. 9 Entertainment Co-Holdings Limited is an Australian publicly held company, or publicly listed company with holdings in mass media, radio, and television broadcasting. Who's the owner? That's what I want. It's in Sydney. Former McDonald's Australia chief executive Peter Bush was appointed chairman following the resignation of Tim Parker. In February 2013, David Haslingden, previously president and chief operating officer of Fox Networks Group. Well, that's a little suspicious, isn't it? Was appointed to the board as an independent non-executive director and chairman. Well, there's your fucking Fox fucking network connection. Let's see, Fox Networks connection. Formerly known as Fox International Channels, was the television networks of News Corporation and later 21st Century Fox that operated from 1993 to 2021. And oversaw production, broadcasting, distribution of Fox, Fox Sports, National Geographic, and Baby TV brands in the United States in over 1.725 billion households globally. Who's the owner of this? Is it Murdoch? Well, we found him. Look who it is. It's Rupert Murdoch. Well. It's a fucking goddamn Murdoch subsidiary. Wah. Well, we can all expect that the coverage here is going to be fucking dog shit.
Obviously, it's been a big couple of days, but it seemed to me that escalated. And talk us about to what happened before and then during and after.
Yeah, I mean, we were reporting on the Today Show all morning the situation on the ground in downtown LA. My cameraman Jimmy and I had started by that detention center in downtown LA, and there was, a few skirmishes here and there and a little bit of chaos moments as we went throughout the morning, but it was about 5 o'clock local time when there were suddenly just thousands of protesters on the streets of downtown LA, and we felt that presence of the LAPD and law enforcement really ramp up. Jimmy and I went live. We were doing a cross into the program. And police started pushing their way up the street. They'd begun firing tear gas canisters and those rubber bullets. And we moved onto the sidewalk and really tried to stay out of the way. What you saw, that report...
Again, as has been said before, we're not really talking about any of the perspectives of the protesters here at all. Because again... Who are the ones who typically fire the tear gas canisters and all that shit first? Oh, it was the LAPD, because it's always them that always incite the fucking violence to begin with. We saw the fucking violent tendencies right now of the... We know. Quite literally. With this fucking motherfucker. Even though she's pretty clearly off of the fucking side, not amongst the actual fucking crowd. So, hey, media! You want to talk about violence? Here's your fucking violence, you dumbasses.
Was at the end of that live cross. We'd moved off to the side of the road. We were at the side of police. I had my back to those LAPD officers. I was really focused on the camera and, finishing that report, telling what was happening. And I got hit. Jimmy scooped me up and we made our way out of there as quickly.
She got hit, huh? Not that the LAPD purposefully aimed at that officer... Quite literally just aimed at you, even though you are very clear. I mean, fucking look at this guy over here in the blue shirt, dude. Way more off, more potentially capable of getting caught in the fucking crossfire, and you're just, completely off to the side, with all the other fucking press? I don't think we're getting an exactly sort of like accurate recounting of what the fuck is going on here. You want to talk about like manufacturing of fucking consent and shit like this? This is exactly what it fucking looks like, by the way.
As possible, yeah, bit of a shock.
Oh, I mean, it's a tremendous shock, Lauren, and you were just doing your job, right? And we've been in awe of your coverage for the past few days and how incredibly difficult those circumstances are for you. We know it was tense. I mean, those circumstances that you found yourselves in for that report specifically seemed to be somewhat calmer, and then all of a sudden, you know, he turned and fired at you. It just seems so out of place and so bizarre. Have you managed to, has there been any explanation? Have you been able to sort of gain any intel on how that happened, why that happened?
No, I mean, where we were standing, it felt like things had calmed down a little bit after that big, you know, chaos of moving up the street, and we'd found a moment where police were still standing off there, but you know, it had calmed for a moment. The police were standing still, and that is why we stepped off to the side.
I mean, let's be honest here, Boy Meets Mini. Of course, it's ain't called Anger and Anarchy. We just found out that this is a fucking Rupert Murdoch-owned subsidiary. Like, yeah, of course. Whoa, crazy. Doesn't this motherfucker Rupert Murdoch own, like, I don't know, like, what? Something like 30 to 40% of all the TV stations and like news corporations in Australia. I wonder why like Australia is considered to be a miniaturized version of the United States. I couldn't possibly think of anything.
We weren't in a group of protesters or anything. We were with other media. I think you can see a cameraman walk behind me in the middle of that shot. So
yeah.
Look, we were doing our best to report what was happening from the scene in the safest way we possibly could, and Jimmy and I were listening to everything the LAPD had been saying to us.
But also, you're...
Again, not talking about the fact that literally the dude took the fucking gun and just aimed it at her and shot it. Like, quite literally. Just shot there, sat there, aimed at her, bop. No, nothing about that? Alright, cool.
You're balancing a lot there, and you've also got protesters who are furious with you, and for the
why would the protesters be furious? What?
Most part over the last couple of days, I've seen you in every circumstance be calm and talk to these people. You've also been.
Wait, what? What is this weird shit about blaming the protest? What? Huh? Protesters were mad with Lauren? Why would they be? Because that one guy just came up, grabbed the camera, and just said some shit in the fucking camera? What did he even fucking say? What did he say? Probably just like, I don't know, maybe they warned the camera crew to be like, you need to get the fuck out of here. LAPD is coming through this way or some shit. Very strange.
Fearlessly unbiased. So that's reporting both sides of it. And then out of the blue, you get lined
up. Both sides.
Is that how... I mean, you're loath to... I know you. You're loath to be part of this story. But in a way you are, and it's going to have reaction and ramifications across America. That's how bad the situation is in LA right now.
Look, I feel embarrassed.
What the fuck is this, like, that dumbass statement from the stupid fucking man? Whoa, men! Do better. You guys are fucking saying stupid fucking shit. Like, what the fuck do you mean? The protesters seemed to be kind of mad with you. He was, like, arguing with you or some shit. It's like, what the fuck are you... First off, what are you talking about there? Second off, dude, literally, like, the chaos is fucking happening again, and these motherfuckers aren't saying it. Why the root cause and the root basis of the fucking chaos and anger and anarchy that these motherfuckers are saying that's happening in LA? Trying to make it seem like it's just all the fucking protesters that are fucking doing it. No, it's the Trump administration who fucking did this. By sending in ICE into a sanctuary city, like I've been fucking saying, which is illegal, and Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom aren't fucking playing ball. They're not pussies like fucking Kathy Hochul or complicit like Eric Adams, okay? Guess what? These motherfuckers are just like, nah, What you're doing here is a bunch of bullshit and making everything worse. Like, you people are being fucking stupid. Again, the protesters aren't doing any crimes. The people who are doing the crimes are ICE. ICE is doing the... Listen, we'll do the... Okay, we'll do the meme. We're doing the meme. This is like the 70th time I've done the fucking meme, but we're doing the meme. Let's see. ICE raiding elementary schools. They went after fucking first graders, for fuck's sake, dude. Hey, Aussies. Now, what do you got to say about this?
Lingering fear in the LAUSD community after an unusual and disturbing visit. Several federal agents from the Department of Homeland Security showed up at 2 elementary schools this week demanding to talk to students. What happened next was our House Superintendent Alberto Carvalho praising school workers and demanding answers. Eyewitness News reporter Sophie Flake explains.
What interest should a Homeland Security agent have in a first grader?
On Monday, multiple Homeland Security agents showed up at 2 elementary schools in Los Angeles, according to LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho. These agents were stopped, questioned, and turned away by principals at Lillian Elementary and Russell Elementary Schools, both in the Florence Graham neighborhood.
They wanted access to the students to determine their well-being, based on, according to the agents, the fact that when they entered this...
Hey, Australians. Hey, dipshit fucking media and report. I wonder why the residents of Los Angeles might be fucking pissed. I wonder why. I couldn't possibly think of anything.
Country, they entered as unaccompanied minors. It is well known that these students are under the care of relatives.
According to Carvalho, the agents claimed they were not part of Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
They conveyed to both principals that the parents or the legal guardians in charge of these children had provided them authorization for access to these kids in school. That is absolutely blatantly untrue.
These agents asked specific questions about students ranging from 1st to 6th grade. The superintendent says they arrived in unmarked vehicles and wore casual clothing.
When the principals attempted to write down details about their IDs, they quickly hid their IDs.
All parents from these schools were notified about these incidents. Ahead of the November election, LAUSD staff were trained in protocols to protect students from federal agents showing up at schools.
We wonder if this may happen at more schools, that they simply will ram through. So we are having to really lean on the principals, the workers, the teachers, the clerical workers.
Hey, Australians. ICE is going after children. Going after kids ranging from, what? 4 to 10. Yeah. But no, it's all the protesters. It's all the protesters. You see how, like, the fucking media is just being fucking complicit in all this bullshit?
Embarrassed, quite frankly. I really don't want to be the story as part of this. We were just on the ground trying to do our job. I was there. You know, Jimmy and I were doing our best to bring to Australia what is unfolding on the streets of LA, and it's a really unfortunate thing that has happened. And I think, you know, as a journalist, we want to be there telling the story. I think, you know, it's a really crappy thing that's happened, but I really don't want to be the story here. It is, you know, a really chaotic.
Unfortunate. Yeah, I wonder why it's so unfortunate. It couldn't be because of a particular federal agency, which should be exterminatist off the fucking off of the fucking fabric of the universe. Did a fucking invasion of a sanctuary city. It couldn't be anything to do with that, of course. Nah.
Situation that's unfolding in Los Angeles.
I mean, Lauren, you've got so much grace, and as Carl said, we know that about you, and none of us ever want to be the story. You want to be reporting on the facts and what's unfolding in front of you, and you do that so well, and you've brought that to our audiences, as we said, for days now, and we take our hats off to you because you've been doing an incredible job, and yeah, just the way that officer turned and pointed at you and targeted you with your back to him. I mean, it's unforgivable, and we really feel for you. And
we're finally what? We're not gonna both sides any of this bullshit. No more both sidesism. Maybe an improvement.
You know, we thank you for your grace, frankly.
Lauren, you're going to be part of this story now, ongoing. Do you have any reservations?
I mean, I think that it's so important that, you know, journalists are out there doing our job, and we've got to keep on doing that. It's, you know, no journalist wants to be the story, and certainly I hope that, you know, we can move on from that and, you know, focus.
Dude, Michelle Obama fucking civility bullshit and its consequences are going to affect us for the fucking rest of our lives, dude. It's so fucking stupid, bro.
It's what is unfolding, you know, throughout America. It's a really tense situation at the moment. The sense on the ground is so tense. And, you know, I just want to move on, and I will get back out there and keep on reporting it.
All right, good on you, Lauren. It's good to talk to you. And look, speak for yourself when you say you don't want to be the story. I'm, you know, happy to be the story any day of the week.
Guys, I do have to tell you, though, I've had some lovely people reach out, and one of the phone calls I didn't expect to get today was actually from the Italian consulate. Ciao, Lauren. Tomasi, you might have gathered, is actually an Italian name. And so the Italians have checked in on me, which was a really lovely moment. So.
What was he asking if you were single or something?
No,
you know the Italians.
Okay, listen, dude. We like a little bit of European racism, all right? I'll give it. This guy, that fucking the fucking male anchor here is a complete fucking dipshit. All right, this dude, fucking dumbass. I'll fucking give him that one, okay? Listen, a little bit of Italian racism.
Hopefully he'll do some tiramisu at the very least.
Asking me out for some pasta.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Hey, job well done. And we'll...
Well, it wasn't as shitty at the fucking end there, but, you know, this is what I'm fucking mostly pointing out here. This sort of just complete refusal to not talk about all of the root causes and the root bases of all this, and to essentially manufacture fucking consent for, saying that, well, you know, there's like valid points here on both sides of the fucking spectrum, and trying to like come up with anything possible in order to sort of just blame the fucking protesters. This is what I want to point at in particular, which is complete fucking utter bullshit. The media is being complicit with the actions of the Trump administration because of why? They don't want to lose their access to him because he brings in a lot of money and ratings. Guys, it's almost as if privately held media institutions and corporations might not be a bad thing if what we overall care about is good reporting outcomes. Crazy. As a resident here, I will say this much. I feel 10 times safer around the Latina community and any other minority communities than other white people from Orange County. Dude, I think there was some fucking counter protests that I think mostly were like in Orange County, right? Wasn't there some shit? I don't know. Let's be honest here. Fucking Orange County are, I guess, just where the schizophrenic freaks go in order to just be, like, stupid and annoying. But, like I've been saying before, commodification of media is actually really, really bad. Crazy. Because, again, they're never going to fucking accurately report on any of this fucking goddamn bullshit. You know, shit like this, where Trump is just lying and is just, like, goading the crowd to fucking attack like representatives of LA and California, calling them fucking incompetent, with all these like dipshits getting fucking boos and booing them and something. This is the fucking backsliding that the media is being complicit in because they're more interested in maintaining their fucking access. This is the fucking problem. But you know, is the media gonna fucking call any of that bullshit out? Probably not. So, let the backsliding continue. Let's go.